I bring this meeting to order, and if you would stand with me for the flag salute. Follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, thank you everybody for being here. We have a little bit of a crowd, which is pretty interesting. Item 3 is any citizens desiring to be heard. Do we have any citizens desiring to be heard? Not hearing any citizens desiring to be heard. We're on to item 4, consideration possible action on approving minutes of May 13 and 25th of 2016.
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We can sign real quick and go on. We can go on to item 5, meeting with representatives of the state auditor and inspector to discuss the audit of fiscal year 14 and fiscal year 15 and sign letter of engagement for each fiscal year.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Sherry Wooldridge, and I'm the audit manager out at Weatherford. This year you got lucky and got us. I know you've had several different auditors in the past, so we apologize for that change every time, and we hope we do a good job. We've been here about since May 16th. May 16th is when we started, kind of doing pre-engagement type things. Dorinda's put together the financial statements based on the treasurer's draft of her financial statements. The adjustments that we had to those, Dorinda had the treasurer sign off on those, and so we've made those adjustments. She agreed to them. Brenda's been working in the inmate trust area. She's already completed the court clerk's audit and working on inventory right now. So we've got a pretty good start on the audit. Out in Weatherford, what we try to do is get in, do the job, and get out of here, which is maybe a little different than what you've had in the past. It seems to work pretty good for us unless we get slowed down some way. What we try to do in our engagement meeting is have the chairman sign, the treasurer sign, and the clerk sign as far as that's called the board of governance. It's the people that take in the money, spend the money, and then the chairman of the board represents you three. And am I understanding this gentleman right here? Are you the chairman, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Could y'all introduce yourselves to me since I don't know you yet?
Oh, I'm Mike Pearson.
Mike.
And I'm District 2.
District 2.
Monty Piercy, Logan County 3.
Okay. Are you kin to Piercy's? There's a Piercy. Oh, I went to some kind of a retreat thing with her one time. Her husband and they lived in Guthrie their whole life. No, you're not. Is it P-I-E?
Yeah, we're PIEA.
Oh, you're a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're out of southeastern Oklahoma.
Oh, you are. You've migrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you, sir?
I'm Marvin Goodman. I'm from District 1. I have
District-
Logan County District 1.
So-
I also asked Tara and Cassidy.
Okay.
They work in
In
my
your-
shop.
Okay. Great.
They split the two requirements
Yeah.
of ordering and receiving. And
Perfect.
that they're
Yeah.
yeah. So
And do you guys both have people out at your shops too that do those jobs?
Excellent.
Brenda will probably be getting with you as soon as we figure out when it's going to rain and when it's not going to rain, so we can do our little inventory. And we don't do 100%. We pick a few to look at, and then we look at your consumables. That
we
sort of
can
thing.
loan you a parka if it doesn't quit raining.
Or an umbrella.
We'd have you the whole umbrella for you.
Yeah, we've done it all. So, and let's see, the sheriff's not here, the treasurer's not here, and the assessor? Is that?
Next door.
I sent an email. Obviously, Cheryl's here.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll just go separately to their offices because I want them to have this letter so they kind of know what we're doing. I might mention some of the things that we'll be doing. I've already talked about that we put the financial statements together after Sherry puts them together, then we make the adjustments basically is all we do. We use her monthly reports that y'all sign off on that come through your office to come up with those things, actually come through the county clerk's office. We do an audit of the court clerk's office. We look at her records. We do the audit of the sheriff is basically his inmate trust account. We do look at his inventory and any POs that go through his office. And then the audit of fixed assets is also a compliance type audit where we look at the ones in the courthouse plus you three guys. And we try to do that kind of spot check versus the whole 100% type thing. Those are the three areas of compliance that we look at, and as I said, Brenda's been working pretty hard getting those done already. The other areas are what we call objectives of the audit, and you guys have a CFA that you turn in, and is it the emergency management?
This would be
I
David.
say, I wondered if that might be you, sir.
Compile the numbers.
That's your job.
Yes.
And Dorinda's looking at that right now, and what she'll do, she might have some questions for you, and please, we have questions for everybody. And
No
the
problem.
purpose of that CFA, if you don't know, and I imagine you do know, is to see if you spent $500,000 or more, and if you spent $500,000, then we have to do a different kind of audit on you. It does not look like for the 2 years that we're auditing that you had that. So we just want to make sure those numbers are good, and we'll be finishing that up probably maybe this week if we get a good shot at it. So typically we work with a team of 3, but in this case, since we're so short-handed, we're only working with a team of 2, and then myself will probably come hopefully once a week to kind of see how things are going. The work that we do is paperless. So it's all on a server in Oklahoma City, and I can look to see what Dorinda or Brenda's doing at any time. So it's not like we have this big stack of papers and big box anymore. We have everything is online basically. Of course, it's secure, that sort of thing. The other objectives that we do, besides looking at financial statements and monthly reports, is we look at your sales tax, and you guys have sales tax here. What's your sales tax used for?
Roads and bridges.
Roads and bridges. Okay.
Well, it's actually the countywide sales tax is split into 3 different groups.
Okay.
Right, so we've got roads and bridges, 1/4 cent of that, 3/4 cent goes to roads and bridges.
Okay.
Which is split between the 3
Three of
districts.
y'all. Mm-hmm.
And then there's 1/4 cent that goes to the sheriff's jail trust.
Okay, and that's to help him run the jail.
And then there's 1/4 cent that is split between the fire districts.
Okay. And so you don't have two pennies altogether, you're not at your max.
No, we're at 3/4 cent.
If I can clarify,
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
years that they're auditing
Uh-huh.
is before the sales tax change.
That's true.
14 and 15 is
Right,
14 to
so
15.
the
Okay.
years that you're auditing, there was actually a 1 cent sales tax.
Okay,
That 1/4 cent went to the fire departments and 3/4 went to the jail trust.
okay, okay.
All right.
Which is now paid off.
Paid off, the debt's paid off, okay.
Right.
And now he uses it to run it. Is that
He uses 1/4 cent.
1/4 of it to,
He
okay.
receives
One way.
1/4 cent.
And your trust authority runs the jail?
No.
Or that was just the vehicle you used to
Bonded.
bond it? And do you guys set on that trust authority?
No.
The jail trust, we can have
Yeah.
a jail trust, I sit on that board.
One guy out of the 3 of you do?
Right.
Okay. I think we got it. I think we kinda knew it, but it's good to hear it one more time. So that's a big chunk of our audit because sales tax anymore, I mean, if you don't have sales tax, you can't run your county pretty much. So we look at sales tax very carefully to make sure that it's being spent properly and that it's being put into the correct fund. The other thing we look at is, of course, your ad valorem tax to make sure that it got divided up in all the right places. That's the biggest part of your income. And then another thing we look at is your purchasing, your disbursement section, and Brenda will probably be doing that work. She'll pull POs and look to see if they were properly encumbered, if they had the right receiving agent and the right requisitioning agent. We'll also look at payroll while we're doing that. And then, let's see, what have I left out? What's our other one? Maybe that's all.
Cash balances.
Cash balances, yeah, we'll do that as we're looking at the monthly reports. We'll make sure that the money in the bank matches the money on your books. So this all, we hope that it'll take about 10, 12 weeks to do, and we've been here a couple. So we hope to be out of your hair maybe by the end of the summer, or if not sooner, that's our plan. So we'll try to stay on target to do that. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I got a question, kind of a statement, I guess. I invited my folks here because
I'm glad you did.
I believe in internal controls. I understand the concept very well.
Good.
And I've instructed the folks that work with me over there to pick y'all's brains on better ways to do things. I know that auditors are reluctant to say this is how you should do something, but auditors also, I've noticed, have the ability to say, well, I've seen people do it this way, and this
Yes.
way, and this way
Yes,
before.
yes.
Not to say you need to do it that way, because once you buy into, well, that's the process you need to use, then you kind of own the process. And I understand staying away from it.
Mhm.
But that's, I've asked our folks to do that.
Okay.
Anything that we can do to help improve our internal controls in our
Okay.
district, and I'm
Okay.
sure, I speak for the rest of the
Okay.
board too.
Okay.
We're
That-
we're
yes.
interested in doing that.
Yes, these operational audits are driven by internal controls.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, we look at compliance with state statutes, but we also look to make sure that those proper internal controls are in place. And that internal controls are kind of this umbrella that covers everything. You know, if you're segregating your duties correctly, and if you're trying to check each other, you know, checks and balances, then more than likely you're also following the statute that requires that you do that, because statutes were made before the concept of internal controls came along, but basically what they did is put into the law what the internal controls should be. So that's kind of where we set and look at things. Of course, at the end of the audit, there will be findings, and those findings will be related to you individually, and you'll have a chance to discuss those with the auditors and myself, and respond to them in writing, and that way the report will reflect, here's the finding, here's how you responded. In some cases, I think the things that we find, you've already corrected when we get here, because we're always behind you at least a year. So that's our plan, and if you have any questions or have anything you'd like to talk about, I'll give you my card, and that way you can, of course, you can talk to these girls at any time, but I'll be glad to answer any questions. I do have, like I said, this letter for the chairman.
So not so good.
Oh, there's my card.
It's not an action item.
It's not an action item, so I don't think we have the.
Thank you very much.
You
ability
can't
to
sign?
do this.
Yes,
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you didn't say.
it's not a board action to
It's not a board
acknowledge
action.
their letter that they're here working. In fact, the Woodward division is the first time the auditors have come to a board meeting for the engagement. The other districts that
We just start with.
have not
Yeah, we like
done
to-
it this way.
Mhm.
Actually, I like it that way.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you,
In briefing, out briefing concept. the whole
yeah,
thing.
exactly, so you're not thinking, what are those girls doing?
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah, so let me get the, I'm gonna give everybody that's here, this is like a copy of the letter,
Thank you.
Okay.
and then here is the one that I'd like for you to sign.
All right.
So that'll be kind of your dummy letter there, and this will be the official one. And in this letter also has the budget of how long we think it's gonna take.
Great.
Let's see, right there's where you sign, sir.
Thank you.
And then if I could get you, Miss County Clerk, to sign, there's a place for you to sign too.
Thank you.
Just in case.
Yes.
And I think our email's on there too. Uh-huh. Name, your name?
Cheryl Smith?
Nice to meet you, Cheryl. Okay, back to me, and I gotta get the treasurer to sign, and then we'll be good. So, you'll notice on that letter that I passed out, it has, like I said, a budget, and that's just what we think at the most it would cost, and of course, all you pay is what's in your audit account. So, we know that the audit's gonna cost more than what you have in your audit account. And the money that we'll ask you to pay will be the 2 years' worth of money that's accumulated in that account. And if you don't have any more questions, we'll just, I guess, get out of here.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, and we're over in the, would it be the drug court?
Court building?
Yeah, if
Be
you needed
careful
to
the
come.
ceiling just.
Is that where the
Yeah.
But guess what? The air conditioning now works.
That
What?
helps.
Yeah.
the air conditioner's working?
Oh my gosh, it was a little hot last week. Thank y'all.
Yes, thank you,
you.
ladies. You're welcome to stay if you want.
Troy, we put that fan on.
I think we'll
I know it's in the.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just hot.
All right.
Sheriff, if you want to take this with you.
Sure. How much fun. There goes our audience.
I'm still here.
Everybody's
Okay.
ditching.
Thank you.
All right, item 6, consideration of possible action on approving updated EOP.
We have been working to update our EOP plan. There's the 2 sign pages. Basically, when we get done, this was going to be our new EOP plan for the city and the county. Some of the changes that we made to it, we deleted off in our old plan. Had fire chiefs listed individually for all the fire departments. They changed pretty regularly. We had police chiefs listed. Just kind of updated some things. And I'm asking for you guys to finalize that. We had a planning committee set up. The fire chief, the police chief, Terry Bobo is our LEPC chairman. Karen Wallace from Red Cross. Spent a lot of time reviewing and looking, and it's better. It'll be better than what it was. It's still way too many pages, but it's the format that the state wanted us to go into. And we will have it in electronic format, which we haven't had that before, which will be a good thing as well.
When will that be available for review?
I've emailed it out twice for review. It's a living document, so if we find anything, we can definitely go back and change it.
I understand the concept of living document, but if something sprouts up and sprouts a new life without us knowing about it, we probably need to review that.
Yeah, we can update it
Of course.
anytime.
Yeah.
There's a form in there on any changes that you see. The fire departments have looked at it. Had a lot of people look it over. I just missed a few spelling things in there, and then I messed up. I don't do the Roman numerals a whole lot, and so when I was doing it, I messed up on I had my numerals mixed up a couple of places, but we got that fixed on this end. But you bet we can send it out. It'll go to the city for their approval as well, and then as soon as we get that, then I can email it out to everybody. If you don't want to print it, I can print it for you and make you a copy. It's just however it works.
Well, I'd like to understand what it is we're reviewing for approval before we do it, which version or whatever.
Is this the final version
This would
that you
be the final
emailed to
version.
us?
I did not do the final one, basically because the only major changes
Was typos?
was typos. Yes.
Still.
Okay. I can email it
We
out to
haven't
you.
looked at it.
Okay. I can definitely do that.
Marvin hadn't looked at it yet,
Okay.
so.
I'm gonna say it. The first time was like February
Oh, yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it was
and then the end of
February, and then you did
March,
one
but I'll email it.
here about 2
I
months
will
ago.
email it to you. We'll go from there, so you guys can review that.
So you wanna,
Yeah, if you want us to approve
Table this
something,
till-
I'd like to understand exactly what it is we're approving, the document we're approving.
Okay.
I mean,
I can do
it's
that.
not that I don't trust you, but I want to read it.
Okay, we can do that. So, however you guys, if you want to do it today, or if you want to hang off, or whatever, however you want to handle
I
that.
can't read it today. You want this back too?
Okay, yeah, I'll hang on to it, and we'll do it maybe the
that right?
6th, this is the
Like a
next
table to the 6th?
meeting.
Yeah. Does that give you enough time? The 6th?
How many pages is that? It looks about 300.
It's about, a total 275. The first part's 190, and then there's another 20, 30 pages before that.
This one is way longer.
192, it's about 220.
Mid-month,
15.
yeah.
Moving on to item 7, consideration possible action on approving specific assistance agreement with Kingfisher County for repairs to County Line Road south of Cooksey Road.
This is mine. If you want to read it.
It was either mine or yours, I knew that.
I moved it, we approved.
What have we done, Buck? What have we done?
We're gonna, Kingfisher County and Logan County, we're gonna team up and fix the mile of the county line road. We're gonna pay for half, we're gonna pay for half.
On the Waterloo side, we did a actual
So,
contract.
on
What to do, do we need a contract on this, or is that part of,
What you did with Waterloo
yeah, that was.
has been a specific agreement. That's where this one was
Right,
formulated.
contractor, yeah, go ahead.
They're not using a subcontractor to do the work. The two
Right.
counties are doing the work.
Okay, sounds good. Marvin, did you have a question?
Not anymore. I
Good.
move we approve.
We have a motion.
No, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, looks like this is just for me to sign.
Let's have two more.
This, as well as this next item, require a DA signature. We don't have anyone on site anymore. So I will get with Logan, get him to Stillwater when I can line up with him maybe the next day or two and get him to sign.
No one up there can sign?
We can still take action contingent upon legal review.
Right.
Can't believe no one in that office can sign.
Not at this time.
Item 8, consideration possible action of ODOT provided county resolution accepting ODOT's required terms of maintenance, financing, and right-of-way concerning bridge rehab on East-West 84 Seward Road, 0.9 miles west of Broadway, required for use of federal grant funding.
Yeah, this is my bridge over on Seward Road, off Broadway. Washed out a year ago, last May. We've been trying to get some sort of emergency processes put forward with ODOT. And it seems that their emergency processes are saying that it's an emergency and putting it in the regular bin and just kind of filing it as need be. The thing that disturbed me most about this was ODOT, local government, doesn't seem to consolidate or look at anything that we publish from our board as far as the certified 5-year plan. We had estimated this bridge to cost somewhere around $750,000 to repair in our CERB plan, and put a couple $100,000 against that. Well, the first section 4, which is the construction funding of that agreement that came out, ODOT decided that $628,000 would fix the whole thing, and I complained that that was very much too low. It was unrealistic. And so then our new Region 4 rep from ODOT redid that one page and sent it back to me for consideration today. And it says that the total estimated cost now is $878,396. Right after this was given to us and I sent to the county clerk to have brought before this board, then Shannon Shepard from ODOT said the price of the bridge is probably going to be closer to $1 million. This is the source of some of my frustration with ODOT local government, is they can't seem to figure out who's responsible for chasing these costs and looking at what we're doing. And most of everything that they seem to be doing is a swag, silly, wild guess. In any effect, these maintenance and right-of-way, this financing agreement, right-of-way and financing agreement that we have to sign for all CERB-funded projects, puts the county on the hook for everything that goes wrong and allows ODOT to manage all the contracts without any fault at all for bad contract management. So if they contract with a bad contractor and they don't do what they're supposed to do, then ODOT says it's up to the county to fix any problems. That's what I have the biggest disagreement with this whole maintenance agreement. However, what they tell us is kind of similar to what they told you on taking that road up there in your county. But if you don't do it, we're going to make you do it anyway.
That's exactly
Okay.
right.
And what they say here is if we don't agree with their silly, wild guesses on these constructions, and if we don't sign up for them financially, we're responsible for them. When we sign this, we're financially responsible for everything that happens. But if we don't sign up for this, then they're not going to let us play in the CERB funds for this construction, and we've got to have it to fix it. So I recommend we sign this under duress. is my recommendation. You don't have to be under duress.
So we'll got a motion.
I do make a motion that we sign it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Look here. That's one project, that's one that's sent first.
It's amazing how it changes.
Well,
Yeah,
and then now they want
like-
to, now they want to hang $1 million on it.
Moving target. Target.
Oh, by the way, I copied our DA and ADA on my thoughts on why we shouldn't sign this, but. I doubt that has any effect on Lowell's reading on whether or not it's legal or not. It's always legal to take money away from you. Whether or not it's ethical is a different deal.
All right, item 9. Status and estimated cost of agreement between Logan and Oklahoma County concerning agreement to share responsibility of ongoing maintenance for proposed traffic control signals on I-35 and Waterloo Exchange. Whatever.
Exactly.
All right. On item 10.
No. ODOT published in a news briefing that Oklahoma County and Logan County have come to an agreement to
Mhm.
share the cost of maintenance for this.
Yeah, I think that was a misstatement.
Say again?
That was a misstatement.
A misstatement. So we're not going to do that?
We don't maintain traffic signals in Oklahoma County.
We're not in Oklahoma County, we're in Logan County.
Yes, we are. Traffic signals are in Oklahoma County. Waterloo takes a dive. That's in Oklahoma County. Later on,
The news-
Oklahoma County has accepted the cost of that. It's gonna be LED lights, it's gonna be on solar. The traffic signal company is donating the traffic lights. Oklahoma County has agreed to any kind of parts that are needed, or if there's
We've got a
a
copy of that
lift.
agreement somewhere we could look at as a board.
What agreement?
The agreement with Oklahoma County that they're gonna take care of all that stuff.
Well, I didn't have anything to do with that agreement.
Well, it says you did.
Well,
ODOT
I'm
says
sorry
you
it
did.
says that, but it's a misstatement, as I will reiterate. I don't guess you heard what I said, it's a misstatement. I don't know why they said that, other than maybe they like to
I don't
give me
know.
a little credit
So,
for it in
well,
there,
it was-
because,
it
yeah,
was-
we negotiated that, and so Oklahoma County has agreed to accept all those costs. And so that is in Oklahoma County, that is not in Logan County, and so they are, the lights are being donated for that interim amount of time, and Oklahoma County has accepted all the costs. So what is there that I have to agree? I agree that Oklahoma County should accept all the costs, and I agree that traffic signal company should provide those lights free of charge. Is there an issue here?
Yeah, there is. The
All right.
ODOT news release says that there is an agreement between Logan and Oklahoma counties. That infers that there's an
So
agreement.
when you.
I'm sorry, are you gonna let me talk, or are you just
Yeah,
gonna keep
well.
running your mouth?
All right, well, you didn't do your homework, so there you go.
Well, I kinda did do my homework. I put
Okay.
this on here to talk about. and you
All right,
just wanna-
what homework did you do?
Gentlemen.
So, the ODOT news release,
Yes,
the ODOT news release on
Yes.
this that just came out.
Right.
That was also picked up by our local news folks.
yes, it was.
Says that Logan County and Oklahoma County have agreed to mutually pay for the maintenance on that.
I agree, it says that.
And that is in error. How can we be assured of that?
Well, why don't you call ODOT? Division 4.
So you're willing to let that?
Or do
go
you
on-
wanna
go
call
on?
Ray Vaughn at Oklahoma County District 3?
I don't wanna call anybody, I just wanna
Okay,
make sure
well,
that Logan
what, do you want
County's
me to
not
get a
not
statement from
responsible.
them?
I wanna make sure that Logan County's not responsible for the maintenance of that traffic light, because that's exactly what it says. We're
Well,
responsible.
okay. So,
I'd like for you to correct that. That's your area over there, right?
no, Oklahoma County is not my area.
Well, the I-35 interchange between Logan County and Oklahoma County is your area of the county.
Waterloo at I-35 is not in Logan County. How more specific do I have to be?
Just half of it.
Well, if you go on east or you go on west where it curves back up into Logan County, yes, sir, you're correct.
As a board, I recommend that we ask the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and that we send out some sort of a news release to everybody that's picked this thing up, saying that we're gonna pay for maintenance on that light system, that is in error.
Well, who from ODOT even said that? Made that statement?
Nobody.
It's in their news release.
They did do a news release.
Well, who done the news release, I guess?
They're NPR.
And who might that be?
I'm not aware, but that would have been information they got from, I would assume Brian Taylor, Division 4 engineer, but I'm not certain where they got that from.
I'll give Brian a call and ask him.
I appreciate that. Thanks,
That'd be
Marty.
fine. That'd be fine. And then you can verify what I just said. Yeah, if they wanna do retraction on that, then that's up to their PR people, isn't it? Certainly not up to me.
All right, let's move on.
All right, item 10. Consideration and possible action on approving resolution accepting $253 donation from Tracy Williams to District 3 for rock on Midwest Boulevard between County Road 65 and County Road 64.
It's Tracy Phillips.
Did I mispronounce? I'm sorry.
I
Tracy
so move
Phillips.
we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I guess my point on the ODOT deal is, why would ODOT put out a statement if they don't? know what
I
they're
would
talking about?
assume that they misunderstood.
That's a problem. We need to correct
They
that.
have a PR. I don't see it anywhere here nor there. Item 11, consideration and possible action on approving resolution accepting $500 donation from Arcadia Heights HOA to District 2 for road materials in Arcadia Heights.
County maintained,
Yes, sir.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Item 12, consideration and possible action on approving detention transportation claim for April 2016 in the amount of $490.28.
I'll make a motion.
I guess I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 13, consideration and possible action approving the following temporary road crossing permit for Dry's Corner LLC for polypipe. Goes across council, 0.15 miles north of County Road 74 and 80 feet north of Southwest 1717 North 4 West. Did you get any of that poly
Is that
pine
yours?
picked up? That old poly pine?
Is that yours, Marty?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. I I'll make the motion we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item 14, status on availability of county employee direct deposit.
We have a problem. It's fixable. What had been discussed previously was leaving payroll the same for those that wanted a paper check and those that wanted to move theirs out an extra week to get a direct deposit, to look at doing it that way. That's not going to work. For a couple of reasons. First off, the software will not allow us to run a payroll and split it off in that way. We would have to run separate payrolls for each one of those dates. That means more tax deposits, more tracking. To be able to really make this happen, everybody would need to be moved out at minimum 7 days. We've tried to look at keeping it short, but because of the bank requirement, which is federal, for the 3 days and holidays and weekends and trying to meet that, you basically are just going to have to move everybody out. If they get a paper check, they would get a paper check on the same day. So we haven't been able to narrow down. We're looking at 7 days, enabled to keep payroll approved on the dates that it's approved now. We don't have to change commissioner dates. So using today as an example, payroll claims would be approved today, the 31st. We would not actually run and generate the payroll like we've done already. It would be done today after this meeting. And then looking at a 7-day out as a deposit date or a paper check date. It's just not going to be feasible to try to split those off as we had previously discussed.
Okay, instead of the paper check, can we look at the prepaid cards?
We can look into that, but it's still the same issue.
Yeah, I understand the issue, right, but
Right.
The prepaid cards also helps streamline, it keeps somebody from having to run to a bank and cash a check in order to pay bills, or,
I'm not sure how we generate, I mean, that's something I'd have to check into. I'm just not
yeah,
on the workings of that.
yeah,
The biggest thing in a few people that I've spoke with is to push this out. Like I said, that 7, most places go 10 days out. I'm hoping not to have to go that far. 7 is what we're aiming for, should we move forward, is that those that have automatic pays and, everyone's scheduled around their payday. And I'm hearing a lot of guff of, I can't change. We're set up for when we receive it. So
what you're hearing is they don't want to change,
Well,
and I understand that in a few cases, and, are we gonna hold everybody back? Because if I understand living paycheck to paycheck, I understand that issue. It's just a matter of getting over the hump the first couple of weeks and getting everybody back on a different schedule. But I support moving to direct deposit for all of our employees that want to.
Did we ever
That
get a
won't
survey?
Yeah, do we have a poll on that?
I'll put one out immediately.
Well, I can
I'll
do
get
that.
that. I've been trying to figure out,
With the issues that we've discussed here, yeah, the 7 days and all that, yeah.
Yes, maybe, and no.
There's a lot more of the technical, and truthfully, trying to find another county, we have several counties that do direct deposit. Doing direct deposit on twice a month pay is,
Problematic.
there's not a lot of counties that pay twice a month.
No.
The majority are all still on the once a month.
No.
And so, just trying to get some advice. Like I said, I did find out that we can't, as we originally spoke, we're gonna run it today and split from that single. And if at all possible, running 2 payrolls is just,
Yeah. Technically, you can, just operationally, you don't want to do it
the software
Right.
will not do it, from what Kelpro has told me.
without doing 2 loads of software. Yeah,
Without running it actually 2 separate payrolls.
that's right. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we revisit the handbook, and any new hires from this point on is set out, where their checks are delayed, then.
And I agree,
300 years,
we're gonna
right?
have to do that.
Move forward then.
I'm not saying that we're not, we're gonna
At
end
least
up
in
having.
20, at least in 20 years would have.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have to look at that. The other thing that came into play here was the meeting schedule of this board was set up to coincide with approving payroll. That's why we had put that 15th in there, so that's still gonna happen. In working this through and trying to figure out, so, well, okay, I won't have to change meeting dates if we just go ahead and approve, everyone turns in their payroll, and we haven't ran it yet. So it wouldn't actually be processed through the computer and generated until the 15th and the 31st, but it won't be deposited till that 7 days out. Now, what we have determined is there's gonna be a couple of those times, they probably come out early because of where it's going to fall. We don't work on every Monday or every Friday when you're looking at the date, and so today, you know, we're meeting on a Tuesday, some days we meet on Thursday, well, that 72 hours gets really screwed up with the weekend, and then add a holiday on there, and we're really pushed out, so that's why we're looking at that 7 to 10, we're still trying to determine. But if we do the approval and not run it and leave that the 15th and the 31st, there's two issues to that. These board dates coincide, and we still close our payroll for the fiscal year. We can encumber it, and we don't have a fiscal year issue. So I will get that other sent out and try to nail down a little better, like I said.
Whether we even want to proceed forward or not.
Oh, we want to proceed forward.
No, I don't hear that from my people, but that's fine. All right, moving on to item 15, consideration and possible action.
I have
on-
none for 15 and 16.
Okay, 15 and 16, item 17. Payroll claims.
Payroll.
But we'll see how that survey comes out.
Transfers. good time sitting there?
Oh, she's not asleep.
Looks like she needs a candy bar or something.
I don't know, I'm thinking it's pretty amazing to have a kid sit there that long and they don't have an electronic device in their hand.
Yeah, amazing these days sometimes.
I chalk that up to
As
good-
Chris looks up guiltily from his phone.
I chalk that up to good parenting.
Need the fishing pole.
Exactly.
Election board claim for the chairman to sign. Fund utilities.
Probably she'd have to be quiet or he'd put her on the internet. Everyone can watch her.
Ooh.
Alcoholic beverage tax.
Well, said we consume here. Well, government always takes the lead, big time, $8,100 in income. Reagan gets their $30 check they can't even cash.
No, actually, the county's gonna end up garnishing that.
Oh, good.
Do you mind if I carry this total over? That's reflected
No,
at the
that's
bottom. Thank you, sir. Up there. Treasurer's certification. That's interesting. Pay more for meals and healthcare. So do we need to have a special meeting or a little trust board to talk about that roof over there again, or what do you think, Bonnie?
I don't know. I was gonna call them here in a little bit and see what the status is on that.
So if they started work on it and it fell through when they were up there on it, maybe we can say it's their fault.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
I'm not saying we need to do that. I'm just kind of joking there a little bit. It's interesting though that when we start fixing the roof, it falls in.
You don't know if they just got the east side done, haven't done the west side or what, but the ceiling in there on the west side is definitely caved in.
That's all
Yeah.
for consent.
Right on top of their circuit board. And
Great.
So we,
I'll make a motion with
Second.
approve.
No, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, considering possible action on approving claim for payment for May 16th. $286. Jeez. Is this all the non-compliance?
That's it for today.
Got no road districts that were out of compliance. That's pretty cool.
$2.02.
There you go.
what's, I mean, it's not very much money, it's probably not even hardly worth talking about. But what's the, Tony's Quick Stop? General government
Gas.
Gas
for?
is where Paul goes to get the fuel needed for the power sprayer or anything of the equipment used around here.
Okay, thanks.
Stop for pizza.
No.
Hot Pockets or
It's
something.
too far to drive. It burned $10 in gas.
Getting $3 for the gas, yeah. What was the cause of the overage on the drug court thing?
I think
You know?
they've had a turnover of employees, so there was more testing being done this month.
Then they had, yeah, allocated, okay. Modern marketing? Interesting.
Make the motion to approve the claims.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any citizen desiring to be heard? Not hearing any.
Kathy, you got anything?
Just wishes to hurry up and get over with, right?
There we go. Comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners. Did you get any?
I'll call Brian Taylor and see where they got that information and try to get that cleared up.
I don't know. He was
Thank you,
there. I
Ronnie.
don't know why they put that out, but he's had a few issues with his PR people. Did you get any of that poly plant picked up over there in your area? I talked to Mark Hamilton, and he's done a lot of that water. He said he'd be picking that one piece I have in my district, but you said you had a lot, so I'm
He
kind
can
of
have all he
wondering.
wants.
I'm sorry.
There's still plenty over there.
It cost them to do that, but they told me that they would, so. I have a issue over there at the shell pit, and our front end loader over there is being used by both District 2 and District 1. And we've had a little bit of discussion about that at the shop, and I believe you may be bringing some fuel over for that, Mr. Goodman. And I believe that you may be, whatever, you're checking it all the time, make sure that it's there. We had one issue wherein we had removed a filter to see if we could get it replaced, but they went ahead and used it. So I think they're gonna start checking it before they use it, and such, but don't you have a front end loader too? Am I correct?
And we have a bulldozer out there
Is
at
it?
that pit that's pushing up shell for you as well. So
Is it?
what's your question?
Is it? I was unaware of that.
Well, check.
One
check
thing we
the facts.
request is that, of course, that the doors be kept shut on that. It's getting a lot of dust in there. It's a lot of cleanup and such as that. But yes, sir, I was unaware that you were doing any of those in the shell over there for our side. So I will share that with my crew. So that's all my discussion I have.
That's all you got? Okay,
Well,
great.
other
I-
than too, whenever we're doing the push up on the asphalt over there on Mulhall, it'd be nice if you brought out some fuel there every once in a while as well. All right, that's all I have.
ACOG May 2016, very important meeting. There's a lot of collaterals passed out there. Talks about stuff coming up. That's all, everything that was passed out at the last meeting. You're welcome to go through that. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, let me know. Mike was sitting there, but you weren't there, Molly, so that's all the collateral. There's a bunch of stuff in there.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Give you
That's
some
all I
paperwork.
have.
All right, item 21,
I'll move that we adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Get out of here.